In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission, to bring freedom to everyone involved.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Doing a thing for the podcast.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends Podcast. Boys.
Fuck boys.
That's right, it's Thursday.
We're sitting in a circle.
There's sticks in our hand, there's drinks on the table, boys.
This circle continues off camera, so that can only mean we're about to do one fucking thing.
Let's give this to Forrest.
Yes. Forrest, what are we about to do?
We're about to fucking masturbate, boys.
Right. It is time for the Freedom Friends Master Debate, where us, the Freedom Friends, solve the world's problems one mediocre topic at a time, given by our producer fucking extraordinaire over there. I guess we'll call him that. Fucking
we
Justin.
Throw that around so loosely.
Very loosely. Like a fucking tie hooker's vagina loosely. Yeah. Fucking, we got Forrest joining us on the show tonight.
Tie hookers have vaginas?
Fucking
Not
always.
Not
My vagina extrudes outside.
Not as many as you think.
Not always.
And they're not as deep as you think.
That is not as advertised.
Just the happy ones.
We got Happy Hooker 35 over here with us. Forrest is with us, hanging out tonight. Justin.
John, you ever been in a tie sword fight?
No.
I have.
It's a short fight.
So,
Yeah.
is it hard to fight somebody like a dude with tits?
It's distracting.
For
sure.
Dude, they're master tacticians.
Well, I left more depressed because he definitely showed up with a longer sword than I had.
And much bigger tits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had tits and a longer sword. It was,
that's just not fair. It's not fair.
It's awful.
It's just a waste of cock, man.
It turned into a sad hand job for myself. Like that's
given by somebody else.
I didn't even get that part. It's bullshit. It was just me masturbating at a bar.
I should not be masturbating right now. This is not fair.
This is fucking horrible.
This is the worst. This is the worst.
All I knew was
ever.
somebody was going to come during that fight, and I'll be damned if I was losing that one too.
You're damn right.
As Dan Cook says, you get back down there and finish, and you get the fuck out of my room.
Yeah, this is fucking ridiculous. Some might say it was ridiculous.
Justin, what do you got for us, buddy?
We're doing a little something different tonight.
We are.
We have a guest.
We do.
One, we have Rue.
We have a couple guests.
Rue is an exceptional dog that really loves to be on the podcast.
Oh, he's gonna sit. He's gonna sit in Forrest lap now. All right, what's gonna happen?
Oh, he's coming for it.
Look at the fucking parkour going on right here. This is
Rue. What the fuck are you doing, dude?
Your tail's hitting the mic, Rue.
Rue, you're fucking up the show, dude.
All right, lay down. Good job. Good dog.
Rue, what the
Look
fuck?
at all this room I have.
You're making our guest uncomfortable, man.
You're fucking this all up, Rue.
Tangled up in the fucking mic cord and shit.
We're good now. We're good now.
We're good? Okay.
Hang on.
All right.
Nailed it.
What are you doing, dude?
So, Forrest, for the audience, who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck am I? Holy shit. That is a loaded question.
Yeah.
Some trucker that really loves lot lizards.
Well, I'm not exactly a trucker. I'm what you would call better than a trucker because I go out and fix up their fuck ups.
Yes.
Trucker recovery.
Yeah, trucker recovery because, truck drivers are supposed to be the professionals of the road, yet most of them are a bunch of fucking idiots, so I have to go out there and get them out of a bad situation.
So you are a semi
He's a trucker.
trailer
I'll come closer for you, Rue.
recovery specialist.
Yes, I am a happy hooker.
A happy hooker.
I love hooking, and I'm happy about
It
it.
says it on his truck.
Yes.
Happy
It says it on the truck.
And you also, you don't.
Take your time,
Your
Rue.
truck has a
You just look fucking awkward, dude.
social media presence.
It does have a social media presence. I refuse to get TikTok because TikTok is
The devil.
the devil, but she's got a TikTok.
Which
Then which is Happy Hooker 35, and I just started to do a YouTube that's slowly starting to come about, but it is also called Happy Hooker 35. So if any of you out there happen to see that, just know that is actually me.
I am utterly convinced that Rue is currently playing The Floor is Lava.
Yeah. I mean, fuck.
It's accurate. The floor is lava is an accurate description of what this dog is doing.
I was just trying to give her a little bit of love, give him a little bit of love, and now he's like, "Oh, yep, you're my new best friend." Fuck John.
Well,
Now I'm
so
gonna cut
Mikey out.
his right back foot is stuck on your mic cord.
All right, here. Let me put the cigar down so I don't burn the dog.
Come, Rue, you're fucking up the podcast.
Yeah, you're fucking killing the show, bro.
Come on, dude.
This is the most excitement we've had on the show
There
in
you
months.
go.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Wait. Let me get
Come on.
There we go.
Come on over there.
That is
What are you,
hooked in the
tight
fucking-
roping?
No, it's just his tail. You're good.
You're tight roping? You're a weird fucking guy, bro.
You know what, boys? For as much as we've drank tonight, this is going way better than I thought.
Hey,
it was going to.
I like how everybody's
mean?
focused on making sure that the dog doesn't get hurt.
There's
though.
only
Like, that's
3
the-
bottles of whiskey.
They're almost all
left.
gone.
Those
Those
were
all
gone.
full
Those were
at
all
the start of the
full, like
show.
an hour ago.
With
Yeah,
about
yeah.
4 shots left among the 3
Right.
of them.
I like how the
you know-
guy that brought them that was like, those were sample bottles. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
how has he effectively sat on both of our laps?
No.
You know, I'm good with this as long as the red rocket doesn't come out.
Yeah, because you're going to get raped.
Yeah.
What's that?
John just offered me a shot.
I
Like that was
almost
going
made
to
I
happen.
almost made a very bad mistake.
No, we don't want any of that. Cheers, buddy.
I
All right.
appreciate you thought of me first, but
So, Forrest, you
were close.
have been a longtime friend from the Underground Cigar Club up in Fort Worth. And you've also been a longtime podcast bro.
Yes,
long
I
time
have
listener,
almost
first time caller.
even if I haven't been watching them in a row, when I go on a long
But
run,
basically, listen to every one.
when I go on
Well,
a
but
long
see, here's the
run,
real
I'll go back
question.
through what I haven't listened to, and I'll click on it. I'll just fucking listen.
are
to
you
it.
a
But
Patreon supporter?
I am a bottle service Patreon supporter.
That's what I'm talking
See?
about.
See?
A good
So you're actually
fucking
talking to a
dude.
mic that you paid for.
I'm talking to the mic I paid for. I drink a little bit of what I paid for, and I'm smoking a little bit of what I paid for. So then the long run
Come
is
on,
paid
Rue.
off.
Do you
Come on,
see?
Rue.
Do you see?
All right, buddy. Okay.
So, Forrest and Warfighter met, 3 years ago
Yeah.
at Underground's NFG Fest.
Well, I think we really met after
Yeah.
at the hotel.
at the hotel.
Yeah, because I was new to the whole thing. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was just wanted to show up. It was a long thing. My dad had just passed away, and so I was like, you know what, fuck it. I told my wife, I was like, let's go to NFG.
You were
And-
visiting from Arizona, too.
Yeah, and I said, you know, let's go out there for a week. Let's see what it's like. Let's go to NFG, and if I love it and we love how it looks out there, we're gonna fucking move out there.
and now you live real
And
close.
now I'm fucking literally within walking distance of the underground. So I mean,
So you-
that's
so
just kind of how that worked
You
out.
live up in DFW area.
Yeah, well, actually, I live in Fort Worth. It's about honestly 2 miles from Arlington. We're on the east side of Fort Worth, right off the east loop 820, because 820 goes around.
Yeah,
So we're on the eastern end.
Yeah, that's fucking riveting. Anyways, Justin,
Justin, what do you got for us?
this is supposed to be a master
Yeah,
debate.
well, we don't need this to turn into
And
2
we-
hours.
All right, boys.
All right, boys.
So I want to know with whiskey, cigars comes with Critic'S, and I want to know from both a business perspective and then also a consumer perspective, how much does a critic's opinion matter to you?
Plead the fifth.
Fuck all.
Fuck them.
Well, considering that I no longer work in the fucking industry, I can absolutely speak to this.
Warfighter Tobacco as a company pleads the fifth to this question. Now, Scott and
That's
myself
totally
might have
fair.
different opinions.
Here's my thing on this is opinions.
Or like assholes.
Well, everybody's different. You're right.
It's subjective.
It's a subjective situation, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna have the same taste of buds as Jazz or as Forrest or as John or as Scott. You know what I mean? So like what I like, and what you
Right.
like, I might not like.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know what I mean? So I think there's a place for everything. Like for instance, Jazz and I, we both agree on this. We both hate Jack Daniels. Think it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
No.
and Forrest, you're a big
Forrest
fan.
loves it.
I like Jack, but I don't absolutely love it, and I definitely do agree with you. It is not a bourbon, and it pisses me off when people call
It
it.
used to be my go-to drink, and I can't fucking stand
But here's
it
the deal:
anymore.
is that if Mikey Forrest and I went to a bar and we ordered drinks and he got a Jack Daniels, it's not like I'm not going to sit at the table with you because you're drinking Jack while I'm
Right.
drinking
At
whatever
At
I'm
least it's not
drinking.
a plastic bottle.
I will
Yeah.
totally sit at the table with you.
Yeah, I'll
and
sit at the
make fun of
table
you.
with you and fucking be like, yeah, fucking drink your swill. I don't give a
I
fuck.
remember
Like,
my
let's-
first
I mean, it would-
I
it
don't
would-
get me wrong. I might talk a little shit.
Yeah, it would be just
But-
like me, you know, if I was a veteran and I was in the Air Force and you guys are all the, you know, Army and Marines and all that, you know.
Well, the
Sure,
problem
it's
is
kinda
that
how it
you'd
is.
be in the Air Force and you wouldn't actually be a veteran.
That's
Whoa,
true.
whoa, whoa. They're still veterans. It's just adorable.
Sure.
It's
I guess
kind
it's
of like our friend Gary Brugman, who's off camera right now
Yeah,
with his
he's
Coast
Coast
Guard
Guard. It's
moments.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's adorable. It's cute. Specifically for him because he's DOT time frame. So
Yeah.
he worked for the Department of Transportation.
Well, now they're
real cool,
now
bro.
they're DHS or whatever, right? So they're still not military.
Still better than DOT.
That's true.
At least
That's
there's
true.
at least there's
I don't
some
know.
kind
Gary
of like
Brugman was
security
like,
involved.
it was like, I'm fucking Coast Guard along with the Highway Patrol. Like, where the fuck?
Border Patrol.
And
matter of
the
fact,
Highway Patrol. The Highway Patrol answers the DOT.
and the Border Patrol wasn't even DHS then when he was in Border Patrol either.
I mean, the Coast Guard, the Coast Guard in the '80s versus
You are
the Coast Guard
fucking
now.
old. God damn it.
I never got to wear any of the cool uniforms.
Hey, Coast Guard in the 80s, at least I was like, we just got ourselves a new cigarette boat.
Right?
Like, that was cool shit. Sit down, Gary. We don't know
Yeah,
what he
you
gives
were
shit
in the
about.
'90s. Shut up.
Yeah, you were 90s.
From what I've heard, though, you really like those
Unless you
orange
were telling me
jumpsuits.
you were capturing cigarette boats with a blazer with the sleeves rolled up and shit. I don't give a fuck anymore.
that's because he got pardoned, but he still did it.
You can pardon the felon, but you can't take the felon out of the man.
You damn right. He still spent time in the yard, kids.
So back to Critic'S.
Yes.
Yes, there is some of the. Okay, I think we have to break this into two categories because what you said is actually far more akin to the guys that do cigar reviews.
Okay.
And they do like flavor, construction. This is kind of what it tasted like. This is how it was built, generally speaking. And I have this kind of rating scale based on all these things. And then you have the critics.
Yeah. Like reviews, I can respect.
But critics, when you are fundamentally looking at being critical, when you have gone into the realm of, I'm going to try and point out what's wrong, then go fucking do it yourself. Oh, wait, you fucking can't. So sit the fuck down and shut up.
Yeah.
This is like people that come out with fucking MBAs.
Like you're not going to change my mind on what I like.
But this is like people with MBAs.
I have an MBA.
Cool story,
Okay,
bro.
so this is
Because I'm clearly using it so fucking productively.
So this is like people with MBAs, and then they want to go to like business owners and go like, "Well, my MBA," and it was like you were taught by a bunch of people in business classes that have never owned businesses, because it falls back to those that can't do teach. If they knew that much about business, they'd be
can't
making
do
a
or
lot
teach.
more fucking money than you do in academia. Like, I'm sorry,
I can't
but
do
even
or
in college,
teach, and I have an MBA. It's
just-
pretty worthless.
You need about $5,000 and a kick in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't confirm.
you're either motivated to get it done or you're not. Like
Yeah.
it's like I'm a business professor, so you can't run a business. That's what I hear when you tell me
Yeah.
you're a business professor. I'm the same way with critics, movie critics, cigar critics, booze critics, any of that kind of stuff. I'll point out what's wrong. How would you do it better? Well, I can't tell you how I do it better. Oh, okay. So you're useless.
Well,
That's what
this
it boils
is
down
easy
to.
for Warfighter because we've never had any criticism.
Well, no. So, no, we've had some bad reviews.
That was the drunkest response
I
I've
know,
ever
right?
heard.
With
We've
criticism.
never had any criticism.
Warfighters had some bad reviews. We have, and
There's a
people-
difference between bad reviews and
well,
haters.
hold on. So people have made videos, right? Put them on YouTube. Said whatever they wanted to say, whether it was a construction issue, they didn't like the flavor, whatever their issue was. But the biggest thing between somebody that reviews a cigar and a critic, as Jazz says, is your critics will never reach out to the company
Right.
and be like, hey, I had one of your sticks and it was a little weird. Literally, that's all they need to say.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, cool, get it. Handmade product, we understand. You know, it might have been your storage solution. It might have been shipping. There's a million fucking reasons why that cigar didn't
a lot of factors
perform
involved, which
how
could
it
have
should have performed.
Yeah, which could have mitigated the reason why.
Exactly. But we
X
stand behind
happened.
our
Sure.
product.
Sure.
But so any person that's ever put something negative out about Warfighter has not once reached out to us.
And they never will.
They never will. Because if they do,
Because they're pussies.
You'll make it right.
one of two things is going to happen. And the one that I hope happens is, hey, I had this cigar and it was fucked up. But I reached out to them and they made it right. And now I'm going to give an honest review on this cigar. And they do. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to fucking love it.
Yeah.
Why?
But doesn't give a right to bitch at that point. That's like, go look at
Social media gives them the right to bitch.
But go look at film critics.
Oh,
and you go look at film
Look at Rotten
critics.
Tomatoes. Fuck that
Sure.
place.
But you go look at film critics and you go look at where they were educated. And like me, they went to film school.
Yeah.
And typically what you find is they went to film school and then couldn't actually
Didn't
go
make
make
fuck
films. So they decide they're going to be critical of people that do.
Yep.
And it's like, it's what it all falls down to. I found it with almost every product out there. You will have reviews and then you will have critics.
Yeah.
And the critics are the one that can't do. Reviews typically come from here's the good and the bad. It's
I
balanced.
love reviews because it's
honest
there's
feedback.
There's no bias in it. It's not.
it's feedback.
I don't like this cigar.
But they'll give you positive,
this
negative.
cigar burned like this. It had flavor profiles like this. It changed like this on the thirds. It did this. It did that. It's all it or the cigar or whatever.
Right.
It's not I or me. The people that use I or me, like, fuck off. Fuck you and your 67 fucking followers. Eat a fucking dick.
And that's really what it boils down to. And then you have like the big critics out
Just did
there.
a happy dance.
But then you have the big critics out there, right? And there's publications out there that they're not reviews, they're fucking critics. And
Yeah.
that's the fact that, like, and they'll go after
or
it.
they're paid sponsors.
Paid
But
sponsors,
a
yeah.
lot of people don't realize is that those big reviews from those giant publications are all fucking paid for.
Yeah.
You want that
Based
review,
on ad spend.
and you better have spent money.
The more you spend, the better you get.
Yeah. You want to know why they're cigar of the year? How many ads were in that fucking magazine in the previous year?
Take a look.
or the previous 5 years.
And,
Yeah.
and if it's a really big magazine, that's about $35,000 a page
Yep.
per issue.
per issue, and they'll buy a year or a couple of years, and
so
they'll
you
get
s-
told, "Hey,
You know what?
give us 2 years and we'll do a
Jazz.
good review."
If you want to start a cigar company
Uh-huh.
and you want to give me a cigar
Sure.
and you want to give me 400 grand a year, I will give you #1 cigar of the year
I bet.
every fucking year. And if somebody else wants to do the same thing, then you guys might bounce back and forth at 1 and 2.
Or it'll be like it was a tough year this year, so we're gonna do a tie.
Yeah.
These are the 2 #1 cigars of the year.
He's a whore. He's gone from
He's
person to
coming over to
person.
you, down, dude. He's coming over to you.
So yeah, it's wild, and I think that's the difference between. And there's sites out there that are review sites of both the liquor industry and the cigar industry and
You
stuff
gotta
like
sit
that.
down, buddy. Oh shit! Where are you going?
One of them's an old friend of mine. His name's William Cooper, and he runs Cigar Coop. And Cigar Coop literally just does cigar reviews.
And
It's
he's
a
fucking
review,
awesome.
and he is extremely balanced. And it is this is how it burned. These are the notes that I got. This is what I got from the construction based on the rest of my education.
That's
This
it.
is what I could tell. Go buy it for yourself if you want to know
Yeah.
what your palate is going to tell you. But this is what I got from it.
So we just had TPE less than a month ago in Vegas, cigar trade show. We have all the majority of the manufacturers are there. Shitload of retailers there doing purchasing and buying, and almost every review channel,
All
on,
the media.
everywhere is going to be there. And they go around, they interview. What do you have new? What's coming out? What blah 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 blah. My #1 question that I ask every single person that came to our booth is, how do you come up with your tasting notes?
yep,
Because if
it's
you
the
require
right question.
well, if you require me to send you my tasting notes on that cigar, I don't feel like you're going to give it a fair review.
No,
because you
because-
already have a preconceived notion going into it.
And it's not even, a lot of times it's not even that they're going to fucking smoke it. Because what they're going to do is they're going to get your tasting notes and they're going to copy and paste it into
Cut
their
and
post.
paste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a genuine review.
Now, my
There's
favorite
guys out
ones-
there that I know that they want nothing from you.
One of
They're
the-
like,
one
let
of
me
my
smoke the
favorite
cigar
ones-
and I'll do the notes.
Blind Man's Puff. Because they
Solid.
send them
Yeah.
unbanded
Yep.
cigars.
And it's a completely blind smoke.
Yep. So we talked to the guy who he was one of the guys who rated the top, I think, 20 cigars of the year. So they sent him 20 unbanded cigars. And I was like, okay, out of those
My
20,
ball is almost
because
hanging out of my pants. That's why I was
you you have a pretty good idea of who's going to be in that top 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's a pretty consistent
Yeah.
list year over year.
out of those top 20, how many did you guess just by smoking it? And he said 1. I was like, well, was it top 10? He goes, nope.
And that's my problem with critics versus review too, is that critics, first off, critics can be bought. 100% critics can be bought. A good review site can't be bought. You give them the samples, they're going to do the review, you're going to get what you're going to get.
Yeah.
A critic, though, can absolutely be bought. And most of the time, it turns into it's got to be good because of the band that's on it. It has to be. It has to be because of the band that's on it.
Well, there's that picture going around that I've seen quite a bit is Sylvester Stallone wrapped up with, head to toe in one of the major cigar brands. And, people look at that and go, oh, he smokes that. That's what I want. They just pay these people to be giant billboards.
Well, and that's not even Stallone. There's been a ton of Ron White was the Xeno Platinum sponsor for a while. There's been multiple brands that have brought in celebrities to essentially promote the brand.
There's an entire type of cigar based off Winston Churchill historically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Every cigar on the Mind's MC show is a warfighter cigar, but don't tell anyone.
Keep that hush hush. Wink wink.
You can't.
nod,
They
nod.
can't be banded.
Yeah.
So when you look at, if you go back to season 1,
Well, I mean, I'm assuming because
I think it's season 1, episode 5 or 6.
A part owner
Well,
is
in the corner of the screen, they didn't
the
take the
show.
band off,
The
and
f-
editing didn't catch it.
The funny thing is about the Mayan cigar is there's actually a Mayans branded cigar
And they don't use it on the show.
that is not our cigar used on the show. It's somebody who found the right person to pay to have the royalties.
Yeah.
But you see it in a lot of movies. You'll see brands that'll pop up. Like I've watched movies and
You
they
should sue them
why?
Why?
because their cigars aren't on the show. Yours are.
Yeah, but
It doesn't matter.
That's a
nobody owns the
rights to
it's
the
a secondary
cigar.
licensing thing. That's not a
Mikey, go ahead. Try to sue a TV show and let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer yet, bud.
Get on it, buddy. I need one.
there's
Can you imagine when that finally happens?
That'd be epic.
Motherfucker.
It'd be epic.
You will be my representation.
I'll be everybody's representation.
I've watched movies though, and you have Rolls Royce has that option that you can get where
Yeah.
that's that flip down humidor that's in the back seat. And these guys are like, well, I only smoke the finest Cubans. And they've opened up. And I'm like, that fucking brand is fucking Dominican and based out of Florida. Like, I know that.
Like, that's a $7 cigar.
I know the motherfucker that owns that brand. Like,
Cool Swisher Sweet, bro.
I've got his fucking number in my cell phone. They're about as Cuban as fucking I am. And we've already established that I'm Korean. So, like fuck off.
You should identify that way. That's all.
I absolutely identify as a man with a small dick. That is
So back to the actual subject at hand.
already done.
Back to
Have
the
for a while.
the subject at hand. There are some amazing review sites that are out there.
Yes, there
There's some amazing reviews on YouTube.
And then there is a shit ton of horrible critical sites that are out
there
there.
are.
I'm crying.
But you just gotta pick through. You just gotta pick through the bullshit. And one of the easiest ways to pick through the bullshit is find somebody that reviews the cigar for what it is.
it's
not
called
the brand.
It's
Well,
called
guys-
follow the money.
Guys, let's get off cigars because we're obviously closely connected to that. But let's talk about let's say movies. All right, you have like movie critics.
It's the same thing.
But it's the same principle.
100%.
What's the debate
but-
topic?
but
I don't
it's-
even remember.
What is your opinion?
He's so hammered.
Because we're close to the cigar and liquor industry, w's our opinion of critics?
But-
in the re-
I
in
think
the
I need to
industry?
relinquish
Like-
my fucking call sign.
but look at movies. All right, like there are plenty of movies out there that just some people like and
Okay.
some people don't.
So, Mikey, what is, in your opinion, what is the most prevalent movie review company that's out there?
Well, I mean,
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going with the
I'm
question.
going off what I know from my childhood. It used to be Siskel and Ebert.
It used to
Right.
be, but what is
Siskel
it
and Ebert
currently
was
right
his-
now?
Yeah.
It's Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes. Okay.
Right.
So, for instance, that movie on Netflix, Don't Look Up.
Okay.
Okay. What was Rotten Tomatoes? What was their view on that movie?
I'm not sure.
It was horrible.
I don't even
Really?
check
Yes.
What did they say it
Rotten
was?
Tomatoes.
It was horrible. I don't know, but it was fucking trash.
That movie
Really?
is brilliant,
Producer?
though.
It had a rating of 56% from the tomato
Right.
meter and a 78% from the audience score.
So now
Okay. Well,
So that
I'm,
means
I'm
the
very
pros-
glad.
that-
I'm
that-
very glad they put an audience score
They do.
in there.
that makes your point right there. Yeah.
But that makes my fucking point.
Yeah.
Because that publication or whatever the fuck they are, that company has a viewpoint that leans one way or the other.
Yeah.
So are you
They-
saying it's shocking that major media
Not
didn't
at all.
like a movie
No, not
that
to me.
railed on major media?
But maybe to some of our listeners.
Weird.
Because
It's just
like
odd.
How
no,
dare they?
because Rotten Tomatoes used to be a way that you could look at a movie and be like, oh, this is either going to be fucking good or it's going to suck.
Well, that's because Rotten Tomatoes, when it started, was actually just viewer based.
exactly.
That was the consumer viewed it and then the consumer went and gave it a rating.
Well,
Yep.
it's like Netflix used to be have a star rating,
yeah.
Yep.
and then Amy Schumer made a fucking comedy special, and everybody fucking hated it,
Yeah.
and she complained,
And everything changed.
and everything changed to the thumbs up, thumbs down, and that's literally what
It's
happened.
because she looks like a potato.
Well, it's
She
'cause-
does.
and she's also not funny and fucking a terrible person. So it's like, dick and fart jokes are great, but
But at least have good tits.
right,
they only
at
get
least
you so far.
don't be like half a fat chick. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It's kind of like what you guys talked about last week about how what was it the highest grossing movie that came out was
Hangover 2.
The Hangover 2.
Yeah.
But
It
I
sucked.
was thinking, I was like, yeah, that movie actually wasn't
Speaking
that
of
great.
which, did you see that the new Spider-Man film is like
I've stopped watching that because when there's like 30 different ones, I'm just
the new Spider-Man film is like 10 million away from becoming the highest grossing film of all time.
Dude, I still haven't seen it yet.
It's
I'm
amazing.
upset.
It's
Like, I'm
super
actually
good.
I'm trying to go this week.
Is it really?
It's
though?
really good.
I'm trying to go
No,
this
it's
week.
legitimately really.
I was gonna say,
and I'm super glad I went and saw it in the theaters.
If
It is
wasn't
worth the
good,
theater trip.
all it tells me is it's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
No, no, that movie is legitimately really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm getting some loving over here.
I had a wild. It was a wild ride. It was great. It delivered on all the rumors that you heard. Spoilers. It's been out for like 6 fucking weeks. If you haven't figured it out by now,
I don't want to hear it.
All I'm gonna say is the shit you expect to happen, it happens.
I don't expect shit to happen in Spider-Man
It
because
does.
it's already happened 18 times over.
It
But
does just
it's
annoy
really
me though
good.
when you get some of these movies like the Hulk, where you get like 5 different versions of it. It's like, can you guys just stick to one?
This
fucking
actually
story?
fixes all of that, and that's what's nice about it.
Okay.
Because it actually
Okay.
fixes
I have no
everything.
idea what they're talking about.
So, but yeah, it's
Scott, what do you think about Spider-Man?
Yep.
so.
Yep, sure.
But back to the critic thing. So if you want to, I'm done talking about Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mikey.
So
Thank you.
you brought up Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
What I will actually say is the number one critic-based system for rating a movie is the Academy.
Okay.
So they say, yeah.
So, and the reason being is that the Academy Awards I've been watching too much Letterkenny lately. For yous out there that don't know how it works.
Blasphemy. There's no such thing as too much.
I've just been having a run in the background while I've been doing data entry, so
As
it's
you
just sitting in my head. But if you're not aware how the Academy works, the Academy Awards are actually based on the voting structure of Academy members. So the only people voting on who wins those awards are people that work in the industry. So it's the actors, producers, directors, all of that work in the industry that vote on that film. And it's an amazingly political structure. And literally a lot of those votes are bought because the people that need to vote for the right stuff, they send gift baskets and all this stuff to the right people that vote the right way.
Right.
So if those awards that are given out, the Academy Awards, the actual Oscar that's supposed to be the pinnacle of it because your peer group said you're good enough, has absolutely nothing to do with how well that movie was performed or how well it was received by the audience. So it is a closed circuit of who actually gets to decide if it's good enough.
And I believe it doesn't really matter if that movie is actually good or not.
Well,
it's if their friends
But
are
we talked about this
involved in it.
before with an echo chamber.
Exactly.
So essentially the
Fuck, yeah.
Academy
The
is
whole
nothing but a
thing is
fucking echo
huge
chamber.
Echo chamber, yeah.
Full fucking circle.
So it's just an echo chamber vote. That's why I have a problem with critics. Because even that is just the people on that inside circle. And it was, well, it's fashionable to vote for this. It doesn't matter that that movie fucking sucked or way underperformed. I stopped watching the Academy Awards after the year that La La Land came out. La La Land came out and won every single award at the Academy Awards, and then it came down to Best Picture.
Never seen it.
It's an amazing film. Well, from a filmmaker standpoint, it's a love letter to Hollywood.
Okay.
For old school Hollywood.
Okay.
But Moonlight ended up winning Best Picture. And I don't know how a film that won every other fucking category didn't win Best Picture.
Yeah.
And it was because Moonlight won because it was politically relevant to vote for that film.
Dude, Rue's become a pain in the fucking ass.
Right? Welcome to my fucking life.
Speak.
He's a really good dog.
Speak.
But it's the same thing even in the cigar world.
Exactly. So
You have
let me
the best cigar of the year is given out via an echo chamber. It has nothing to do with consumers. It's how much was spent on it.
It's based on ad spend.
It's based on how much was spent on it and who you know. So if you happen to have sucked some dude's dick named Marvin, you might get cigar of the year.
So you are in the
I'm
industry.
Marvin.
Clearly, Scott and I are in the industry. Mikey is so far removed from the industry. But Forrest is an avid cigar smoker. And you've been doing it for a long fucking time. And you hang out at one of the best shops in the entire fucking world.
It is a good fucking shop.
So, what is, from a consumer standpoint, if you see a top 10 or top 20 of the year list, or you see a rated cigar based on a magazine or a publication that does that, what does that change about your opinion on that cigar?
Me personally, if I know that Cigar Lounge carries that cigar, let's say Espinosa got #1 on one of those deals. So I was like, well, fuck, I haven't had that one.
make
So
good sticks.
so I went in there and I bought it, and it was pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
But if they said, I don't want to name names, but if they said so and so had a good cigar, well,
covered in
let me go
fucking
see for
dog hair.
myself because like Mikey said, everyone has a different palate.
Right.
So those guys can have a very developed palate. These other guys will have this type of palate. So
Yeah.
all right, fuck, let me go
But
check
so-
it out. So I'll
so-
go try it, and I'll be like,
If you were to rate the cigars you smoked in that year, would that number one cigar that they said, would that rank number one on your list?
no. I mean, it would rank probably in the top 5.
It would be. I mean, they're good sticks.
They're-
You're not
they're-
going to
yeah,
get number
they're-
one.
they're
on
I
the
don't
fucking
even
dog
sticks.
turd.
remember
Well, it comes
the
down to
last.
between subjective and objective opinions.
What's that?
It comes down to between subjective and objective opinions.
No, it comes down to decimal points.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not fucking with you. It's not subjective or objective.
But I'm
It
talking
comes down
about.
to
I'm
decimal
talking about
points.
like
I'm talking about from a consumer,
consumer
I
standpoint
agree
though.
with you.
It's
Yeah.
subjective or objective.
I will tell you right now, as a consumer and somebody that's been in the industry, I don't even remember the last cigar of the year that actually was the cigar of the year
Right.
out of what I've smoked.
See, and that's what I'm saying because it's so subjective.
Not really.
Well, like,
I like-
all right,
it depends on who's putting out the cigar of
let's
the
break
year.
it down
Ad
to
spend.
let's break it down to the fucking 4 of us, right? Like the 4 that are consistently on the show. Sorry, Forrest.
Fair enough. No offense taken.
I'm not sorry.
But let's say like your favorite cigar that Warfighter makes is the Corojo.
Mhm.
All right, it's a great cigar. I fucking adore that cigar. I think it's great. Subjectively, though, I think that the
Sumatra is your jam.
is my jam, right? Because it's so subjective.
And as
You know
one of
what I
the
mean?
owners of Warfighter Tobacco, I would say you are wrong, sir.
Well, yeah, and you and you like, and let's say
That is objective.
let's say you like the victory. You like the victory the best, and you like the fucking I don't know the fucking
Why don't you know what the fucking cigar I like,
50
asshole?
Well, let's
You don't fucking like me anymore?
Well, no, you
fuck's
just
wrong with you?
You actually jump around more than
I do.
anybody else
I
on
do.
this show.
I like the majority of what I smoke is more along the lines of quality control than it is of what my favorite is.
Yeah.
Like my favorites are the 5.56 Field Connecticut Lancero,
You can confirm.
which
Fuck,
is of
so
my
good.
fucking
Agreed.
morning cigar all day long.
Agreed.
Or our 50 cal Garrison.
yeah.
Right
Like,
now,
so
do I like the Corojo? I fucking love it. Do I like the Rosado? It's amazing. That
Yeah.
Sumatra with a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but that
fucking-
that Corojo Lancero,
that's,
But
I would
when-
make love to that.
But
cigar.
when we get a really dark 50 field,
that makes
There's been
Yeah,
some
that's
50
what,
fields.
that's what us men like.
There's been some 50 fields I've gotten from you guys that I think I could change the
That
oil
makes
in
me-
my
that
car
makes me
with,
smell
and it's
my
been
pee-pee to
oh,
keep it
they're
off my
so
tongue.
good.
See, that's what I'm saying though. But it's so subjective. You know what I mean? And that's why critics have their place, sure. All right. But reviews are what's more valuable.
100%.
Do you know where I have found the place with critics? Whatever they fucking say is the best, go pick what they said is the worst and smoke that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. Because if it actually is the worst,
Yeah. So like when I was
Then,
paying attention,
okay,
we
maybe I
brought
can
up
agree.
we brought up Rotten Tomatoes. And every time Rotten Tomatoes does one of those like it's only 30% or whatever, I'm like I'm watching that fucking movie.
fuck yeah.
Because it's good.
It's probably going to be awesome.
It's edgy. It has a little bit something that leans to the opposite direction they
what,
lean to.
What was the one that was the big controversy with Rotten Tomatoes a while back? It was one of the Dave Chappelle comedy
stand-up.
specials.
In all
One of
fairness,
his
his last
yeah,
two
was that
one of
stand-ups
his
are
comedy
fucking
specials.
garbage.
And they dropped on Rotten Tomatoes.
They're awful.
They're not.
They
were
are.
they were awful on a
They're-
comedic standpoint, but they were amazing on proving a point.
Yeah, they were. You know what it was? It was a podcast on stage.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, but I don't watch Chappelle's stand-up routines to see a fucking podcast. I watch him to see his fucking
Oh, don't
comedy.
get me wrong. His
I
comedy
watched-
was still on point.
I
His
watched
timing's still masterful. He's a master of his fucking craft.
I'm
I
not
watched
saying he's
Chappelle's
not.
stand-ups to watch him talk shit.
Yeah,
Because
but
that's all he's done the past couple ones.
but that's because
Because he's got so much shit
You know
talked
why?
to him.
Because he's Dave fucking Chappelle.
No,
He's the Chuck Norris of comedy. Dude.
All
He-
these
he doesn't
publications
do wrong.
are going to put their smaller publications and talk a whole bunch of different shit in a
Sure.
different bunch of areas. And he takes all of that, makes a stand up, and blasts it out to the
See,
fucking world and says, "Go fuck
And
yourself."
this is the difference between a critic and a review. Is this was a review.
Yeah,
We've all seen that stand-up, and we all had different opinions of that stand-up.
there it is.
But I'm not saying I didn't find it funny because I watched for comedy. And what it turned into was essentially a social commentary.
Yep.
I get that it's a social commentary. I would have appreciated it if it was just like Dave Chappelle has an opinion and now I'm going to fucking tell it to you. But don't bill it as a comedy special. I don't have a problem with what he did. I have a problem with the fact that it was listed as a comedy special. because it wasn't. It was a social commentary.
And there I disagree because I still think there was so much funny comedy involved in it.
I agree with Mikey.
You know what I mean? Like there was so much funny comedy involved with it that he mixed comedy masterfully
Sort
with
of.
social commentary.
Sort of. You're saying it's funny just because he talks shit.
No, I'm saying it's funny because it was funny.
But it
I'm saying
wasn't.
it was funny.
It was a social
Sure
commentary
was.
and it was accurate, but it wasn't comedy.
Sometimes
it was
accuracy is funny.
Yeah, especially today.
On the episode, we talked about Joe Rogan. And
Yeah.
I said that Joe Rogan's a horrible stand-up comic,
I agree.
an awesome host.
I don't know if he's
I-
horrible.
Yeah, he is. He's fucking
I
terrible
wouldn't
as a
say. I mean, he's
stand-up
better
comic.
than I am. Like fucking
Well, sure, he's better than me, but I'm not a stand-up comic.
see.
So
Like-
that's the difference between a review and a critic, though. So
yeah,
Jazz
see,
is being a critic
right-
about
no,
Joe Rogan.
No, right now we're reviewing because it's subjective.
Okay.
We're reviewing. Like Jazz's review of Dave Chappelle's show is like he's like, yeah, I mean, it was great for this,
not-
but it wasn't great for this.
As a social commentary, it's masterful.
Yeah,
As a comedy show, it's not. Not in comparison to even his other comedy shows.
see now in my review, I would say not the opposite. I would be like, this is a masterful comedy show that turned into a social commentary.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like he might rate it a fucking 3 on comedy, whereas I would rate it a 5 on comedy.
but I would say
I
it's-
would rate it a 3 on social commentary, whereas he would rate it a 5 on social commentary. You know what I mean? So these
Right.
these are reviews.
From a storytelling, social commentary accuracy, and the glibness of a social commentary, yes.
Yeah.
To make a social commentary palatable. But even comparison to that latest one, and then just roll 2 back on his comedy specials.
Yeah.
That was a comedy special.
Straight comedy.
That was straight comedy, and it's brilliant. It is masterful
Yeah.
in it. In
I
both,
hope so. The motherfucker worked on it for like 10 years.
and it's absolutely amazing, and still had a social commentary mode to it.
Sure.
But it was a comedy special. The most recent one, though, is a social commentary.
Yeah.
But again, that is my opinion. I am not going to tell him that he's not good at what he does. It was. As a social commentary, it was masterful.
Sure.
I just don't think it's a comedy special.
So
I'm not
so
I'm
you-
not speaking
I
to the
think- well,
quality.
That's
I'm
saying that-
speaking to the
that
classification.
you read it a different way
Okay.
than everybody else.
let me throw a wrench in all of this. Okay.
But a critic would say, "Don't watch it
No.
because it's not a comedy special," and I'm saying, "Watch it
Critic-
because it's a brilliant
critic versus
social
review.
commentary."
That's a
Critic
review.
versus review. Nickelback. No, because it fits the fucking the glove fits.
It does. It does.
The actual music.
I'm critical because I'm prettier than that man and will never see as much pussy as he did. That's why I'm fucking critical.
Because of his
pussy
bank
or
account.
pissy.
Or busy.
Either way,
He
I'm
won't be-
pissy
We
because
don't kink shame. God damn it.
I'm pissy because of his amount of pussy. That's
But
what.
so as a reviewer, it's strictly based on the music and not the people and their personalities and the shit they do. Fucking outside of making actual music.
Every one of his songs is a 4-chord song. It's a 4-chord song.
But
That's how you make a fucking pop hit.
was it good?
Yeah, every
Do
fucking.
you know every word to every fucking Nickelback song? You probably fucking do.
It's about fucking
maybe.
some chick.
You probably fucking
Hey,
do.
John, look at this photograph.
Right? See what I mean? Like, there's
Every
there's
time I do,
fucking memes.
it
They
makes me
haven't put
laugh.
out a relevant fucking song in what, almost 20 years now.
But their meme game has been fire.
And it's great. Why? Because obviously something was fucking good there. Now, critically, on the from the critic side of things, yeah, I get it.
Now, is it critic or is it just the internet being dicks? So the problem is we live in the age of the troll.
Yeah.
Where like okay, here's a good example. What's this? This is the okay sign. This is what we've grown up as the okay sign. If it's below your waist and you look at it, you're
Ball
getting punched in
gazer.
the arm.
My last trip
Ball
to
gazer.
Jamaica, I got fucking
You're racist.
advanced dive cert.
But that's the new thing
No.
because an internet troll decided I'm going to make that a racist symbol.
I got
Even though it's not, it was a joke.
I got my advanced
and the
dive cert.
fucking and the internet
Right.
fucking blew it
They
up,
fucking
and now
went with it.
and
When
now
you-
it's
when you
like
dive-
it's racism.
This means okay. A thumbs up means go to the fucking surface. I have an emergency.
Yeah.
Right? There's a big difference between okay,
But that's
everything's fine,
application.
and let's keep going.
Time to go.
Here, look. Here's an example of critic versus review. Scott, you are a relative subject matter expert when it comes to firearms.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Right? Like we can all agree that if you wanted an opinion on a
Scott knows
firearm,
what he's doing.
Scott can probably give you
Scott's usually the guy I call.
a pretty good opinion,
Yeah.
right?
Fuck
A
both
pretty
of you.
accurate opinion.
Do you disagree with
I
this?
taught me everything I know.
taught you everything, John.
You don't go to the hired help when you have the guy around.
Why would I
It's
go to
true
the-
story.
Why do you call the XO when the CO's
It's a
available?
fucking true story.
To be
I get the
fair.
same answers, but you get it from him. It means something.
I have a TBI, and John remembers more than
Well,
Okay.
that's why I call you
So
first,
ready?
then I confirm it with John.
Ready? Here we go. Here we go. There is a firearms company out there that is a large firearms company and sells a lot of firearms.
I've called him and been like, "Yo, dude," da, 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 da. And he says me something. I go, "Hey, John," blah blah blah. And he's like, "Yeah, he's right." And I was like, "All right."
Never hurts to
you're
have
a
two
dick, sir.
opinions. It never hurts to have two opinions.
Here we go. Ready? High Point Firearms.
That's where you get COVID.
Yeah, it's where you get COVID at Chacha.
All right. Is that a critic or a review?
Well,
So I'm going to give you a review.
it's a very critical review.
I'm going to give you a review on High Point Firearms.
They make good targets?
Okay. They will work about half the time.
They shoot.
Okay. The thing that nobody realizes is if you take that serial number plate that's on the bottom side of the rail on the front of the gun and you file it off, it doesn't matter because they've been used in so many crimes that they double stamp it molded inside of the polymer. And you can't get to it unless you completely destroy the firearm.
Yeah.
And then it's not operable, but you have no serial number.
So for all
So
you,
there's a
all,
reason.
So in other
all
words,
you-
use it at crime and then melt it.
all you
Not-
gangster
and-
motherfuckers
and-
that think you're getting away with filing that serial number off.
Not
Sorry.
Aside from that, which is, I don't even think that really classifies as a
Now, why have they
review
been
for a
used in
firearm.
so many fucking crimes, though?
Because they're
because
cheap.
they're cheap.
Because they're cheap. Because
cheap.
they're made out of pot metal.
yeah.
Because they
have an
allowed the
accuracy-
customer base to name it the Yeet Cannon.
They have an accuracy.
That's
of
awesome,
about
though.
fucking 10 feet.
That's awesome. And you and I actually fucking commentated on this on a different show.
We did.
And we were proud of them.
But this is my point with when you start getting into an industry and you become a subject matter expert. It's very easy to lose sight of what's a review and when you become a critic. And I understand that a lot of that comes from experience. I know
But
where the quality is in that product.
when it comes to, like, for instance, High Point, I can do an honest review on why that firearm isn't
It's trash.
the perfect choice for people. I'm not going to say that it's trash because it does what it's designed to do.
so that's a review.
Exactly.
But if it turned into
I don't like it because it's blah 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 blah.
but if
No,
it turns
I don't-
into this gun is trash and here's the 10 reasons it's trash and there's no redeeming quality at all,
the gun shoots.
that's a critic.
You pull the trigger, it goes bang, but I don't know, about 40% of the time. And the reason is because of the design. It's not because of user error or ammo or not cleaning.
Right, but
or
that's a
anything
functional
like that.
review. But then there's the people out there like one of the movies that I will watch every time, and I own a fucking Blu-ray copy of it, and I hunted it down, is Waterworld with Kevin Costner.
Oh, it's a great fucking movie.
Proud of you.
Go find the reviews on that fucking movie, and
Oh, now I have to.
the professionals will tell you that movie is garbage from front to back.
That movie's fucking
And I was
awesome.
like, I'm like,
it's not a myth. I've seen it.
then
No,
I
that's-
would like to know how it got so big that there's action figures and people hunt the movie down like I do, and there's huge fans of it and the whole 9 yards for this garbage movie
well,
according to the pros, but
let's-
there's this huge fan base.
Let's talk about something that's near and dear to you and I heart. All right, fucking Mallrats. Kevin Smith's fucking Mallrats.
Yep.
Kevin Smith's Mallrats was critically a flop.
In all fairness,
Absolute
every
trash.
Kevin Smith film has been rated as absolute
except
trash.
Clerks.
Look at fucking
Is that why on Dogma he
But
went on there
Clerks-
and did that review?
but
on,
Clerks-
on Celebrity Poop Shoot or whatever
Oh,
it was?
that was on Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Get your facts straight.
And okay, sorry, Jay and Silent Bob. And I remember I looked it up at school, and it was actually a legit review. Like
Yeah.
he went on there and did it.
Yeah.
Is that why he did that?
Yes, because fucking Mallrats got drug by the critics. Got fucking drug.
Because
Miramax lost so much fucking money and contact because of that.
and the reason being is that Clerks was a festival baby.
Yeah,
It got into Sundance. It did incredibly well.
Yeah.
And it was this indie filmmaker that made this cutting edge new kind of indie film, and everybody loved it. And then his follow up he was able to do with a budget. So he did what filmmakers do, and they made the movie that they can with a budget, and it didn't have that rawness that the original did. And the critics destroyed it. The fan base fucking loved it.
And it's
But
become
the
a
critics
cult classic.
destroyed it.
Well, fuck, look at Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints is another option.
let's
Another
not
great
talk
example.
about
I fucking love both those.
We don't
even
want
go
to
there.
mention it.
Don't. No. We'll talk about Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
The only one.
The only one. There's no others.
There's only one.
But the critics hate that film.
Yeah. They crushed it.
But the fan base, you'll drive around and see people that have the tattoo thing on the back
I've
of their
seen
car.
people
and
with
shit.
the actual tattoos
On their hands.
Yeah.
on their fucking
I know a
hands.
chick
And
who
I'm
did
like,
them on her feet.
I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
She guns with her feet?
That's
She put them on her feet. I don't know what the fuck she did, but
So,
But like, so
I mean,
that right
look
there,
at the movie
that's,
Scott was in.
that's really what fucking that's the difference between a critic and a fucking review right there.
right.
Yeah.
And so I really think if you're going to look at critics, look at where they're getting the source material. Look at the reason that they're able to be critical.
Look who's paying them.
And then decide if you should go follow the critic or follow the review. And I don't give a fuck what the industry is. Like,
Yeah, it
one of the
doesn't
best
really
things that ever
matter.
happened was like Amazon reviews.
Yeah,
Because that is
it's
users.
legit
And that fucking dude helps me out a lot.
It's end user reviews.
But I have an issue with Amazon reviews.
Well, because now there's certain companies out there that are sending products
No.
out for review.
No,
But it'll
I don't
actually
have an
say at
issue
the
with
bottom that
what
they
I have
were
an
given
issue
the
with the
product.
reviews on an Amazon product is this showed up and the package was damaged.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck if
I don't
UPS fucked your
care.
box up.
Yeah.
How the fuck the package showed up? I don't care
That's
if
got nothing to do with the
I don't
fucking
care
Amazon
if you had to
review.
put
Like,
batteries in and it didn't come with them. I don't care if you didn't know how to use the fucking thing
Yeah,
you
but the nice
ordered.
thing is that those are easy to ignore.
Yeah.
You can go find the
As
function.
soon as you
ignore.
read that, you're
But,
like,
there's,
yeah,
but
yeah.
there's still reviews.
But just because you have a platform to say something doesn't mean you can spew your fucking ungodly bullshit.
Well,
on
what's the number one review site? Yelp.
okay?
You go to a fucking.
Nobody uses that shit
But
anymore.
I do.
But anything,
I use
really,
Google.
Google.
It's you and a bunch of divorcees. Nobody fucking uses it.
Maybe
You don't have a slanty enough haircut to fucking be on
a
Yelp.
little Bob
No,
action.
even like you Google a fucking restaurant and you look at the reviews on Google.
yeah.
And
You
you
can.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Right. And
Oh, it's the same thing that happens on Yelp.
but you look at half the fucking reviews that are about a restaurant and it's I waited 45 minutes to get my table.
South Park crushed this.
Cool. How is the food?
Boogers and
Yeah,
cum.
that's honestly. So I'm a big
Boogers and
Googler,
cum.
and every time I want to look at a restaurant, I'm like, all right, this is a new restaurant. Fuck, it's got 4,000 reviews and 4.8 stars.
Yeah.
Or I'll go to one where it's like 3.5 stars, and it has like 1,000 reviews, and I'll go and look why. And there's a lot of 1 stars, and they're all consistent. Then I'm like, all right, there's a problem. But every once in a while, you get one. Oh, my fucking water didn't have enough ice cubes in it. It's like, fuck off. You don't need to write a bad review because you didn't have enough ice
Or
cubes.
this one employee was a dick.
The waiter
Yeah.
was rude
Okay.
to me.
Yeah.
The food was phenomenal, but I'm only going
I
to
don't
give
give a
it
fuck
3
about
stars.
your
Yeah,
waiter.
it's
How
like,
good were
fuck
the
off.
fucking dumplings? Like, fucking
Right.
let's get
Yeah, right.
real
Like,
information.
come on.
And that's my point. Is like that's what Yelp is. Yelp is a bunch of fucking like mindless drones, but it's still reviews.
I fucking hate Yelp. The
My
only reason
favorite-
I have Yelp is so that I can fucking reserve tables at Magnolia.
My favorite is when you see that
It's
they're-
easy to find restaurants that I want
Nope.
on
that
Yelp.
person reviewing has a
type in-
tag and it
if
says
you-
local guide.
If you type in bars,
I'm
all
actually
the
a local
bars
guy.
pop up. I like that. I like that.
Anyways,
love when
Matter
it
of
says
fact,
local
you guys
guide.
want a fun
Fucking-
Yelp review? Go to fucking there's a titty bar in
Yellow Rose.
the Yellow
Yellow
Rose in
Rose.
Austin,
Yeah.
Texas.
Oh no, the Yellow Rose is classy.
Fantastic.
I have not
Sponsor
but,
them, Yellow
but
Rose.
in give us money.
Or some titty shots.
I've written a Yelp review, and it's still active, and it's at a bar called Foxtails in Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
I fucking love Charleston, South Carolina.
Did you talk
Or
about this
no,
before?
I'm wrong. It's Charleston, West Virginia.
Those are two very different
Very
things.
different places. Yes. All right. And I will tell you that if you buy the bitches cheese fries, it's a good time.
They will do whatever they want. Now, quick question. All right, so we're talking about reviewers and critics and all this shit.
Yeah.
I'm a consumer.
Yeah.
You were a sales guy. You're just kind of, getting into it and whatnot. And you guys want to
Mikey has no
Get into
relationship
what?
to
I
the
have-
industry.
I have nothing, man.
and you guys own a company. when you see a cigar review from like, let's say Half Wheel,
Bro, I'm in the same
Okay.
boat you are.
who do you respect more, and who would you be like, all right, I take this as an honest opinion.
Ooh,
Like,
that's a loaded question only because I know so many of the reviewers personally.
yeah, so that's what I want to know. It's like, do you guys,
the review channels that I appreciate are the ones that do it and they're not paid to do
that's
it.
what I want to know is like, who do you know that honestly does it and does a legit review and not just like,
Okay,
oh, these
so
guys are paying me $100,000.
I'm not going to call anybody out
No,
directly.
I'm not going to name any names.
But here's what I will say. If I go read a review on one of those sites and at the top of the review is a banner ad for whatever brand I'm just reading the
You know
review
this
on,
is good news, buddy.
I fucking
Fair
ignore
enough.
it right away.
Okay, fair enough.
Like I automatically just discount the review.
But I mean, are there any legit like
There
reviewers
are,
who
but-
you're like, all right, these people are giving an honest review
because
like,
of my relationships in the industry and how close I am to like Warfighter,
Yeah.
I'm not going to call anybody out directly.
but I mean,
But there are sites that are better than others. The only one that I'll say is William Cooper at Cigar Coop, because he's that dude. I think you could offer him any amount of money and he's going to be like,
no.
that's fine. But the review is going to be whatever
gonna
the
be
fucking
honest.
review is.
Yeah.
Like,
If this cigar shit,
and
I'm going
he's
to tell you it's shit.
He truly is the only one that I believe would give you just a flat review.
Now, for instance, this isn't particular just to the cigar industry.
So
If you look at the top
I was wrong.
fucking
It's
pickup
called
truck,
It's called the Elite Gentlemen's Club, and my review was, "It's a nice place." ... If you like meth heads, apparently, these girls are really into cheese fries. Buy them some of the place gets a lot more fun.
So I
Don't do
looked
butt
at,
stuff or cheese fries.
I did look up Warfighter tobacco on Yelp,
Yeah.
and there was no reviews.
Oh.
0 reviews.
I'll have to go
Well,
put in
maybe
a
we
review.
gotta
So
open
the
a
owner,
restaurant.
the owner of the bar actually replied to me. He said, "Mike, we are disappointed to see this review. Please know that we have a nice group of clientele and dancers that are part of an elite gentlemen's club. We pride ourselves on being a reputable establishment that appreciate you giving us a try."
And you know how I know
Cool
you're
story,
full
bro.
of shit is because you were using the word elite and West Virginia at the same fucking time.
Yep.
they don't
Yep.
mix.
You've already fucking lost us, pal.
So I already know
so-
you're a liar.
Going back to what you were saying, Forrest, it happens in every industry. So you look at what's the
Hilarious.
top the number one pickup truck
that
of
you would
last year.
that you would like trust, or like
No,
a reviewer.
what does
like, all right,
Motor
take this-
Trend say the number one pickup truck was the last year?
It's always
Those
Ford.
are gold.
Why? Because Ford spends enough fucking money with them. Right. But now you look at a different person, and Chevy, the 1500 Silverado, is the number one pickup truck for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
Why? Because they spent ad spend with that company.
Yeah.
Right. And they do that just purely to get that accolade.
Well, it's all about money.
But because they can advertise that number one.
Yeah.
Right. Now, when you have somebody that reviews a cigar and they don't rank it on a top 10 or top 20 or top 50 scale or anything like that, yes, they might put a number to it. Yeah, this rated a 92 out of 100.
You know
Okay,
what? I
cool.
got this. You ready? Freedom Friends podcast proudly endorses Warfighter Tobacco is the number one cigar we have ever had on the show.
I get what you're doing.
Yeah.
Can't
Rated
convert.
a 100 out of 100 out of all the
That's
cigars smoked
110
on
out of
this show.
100. We have bonus
Yeah,
points.
it's bonus points because they're also a sponsor. Because
Because we're at the Warfighter Tobacco Studios.
With all the warfighter stuff.
Coming at you, not even fucking close to live from.
Oh, you guys are closer to live than you used to be.
That's
So,
true. That's true.
so
But
yeah,
no, it just depends
'cause
on where
Justin
you get your
works here
information
now.
from. You know, like if you're looking at Cigar Aficionado for your top fucking 20 list of the year, you're gonna have the same fucking top 20 list of the year minus 4 or 5 different
I'm going
brands.
to start a new review site, and it's just going to be called dogrocket.com, and we're just going to review the worst cigars we can find.
And-
Any other
well,
review
you know,
site
and
that
so
says it's
I've
garbage,
noticed as
we're just
being-
going to smoke that.
Right.
I've noticed as being a consumer and, saying like Cigar Aficionado and Half Wheel and all this stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the bigger ones will do like your mainstream cigars.
Yeah.
They won't even like they'll
don't touch
they'll be like,
boutique
who the
cigars.
fuck
Here's
is
what it boils
Warfighter?
down to, and Mikey said
You
it
know?
best. It is actually subjective. If it fucking tickles your pickle, that's the best fucking product for you to buy.
Yeah.
So
But I always go
Read
off
the
of,
shit if you want to. That's great. But if it does it for you, it fucking does it for you. Like me personally, I can't be in the same room as somebody that's smoking an acid cigar.
Ugh.
I can't be around them. But Jesus Christ, they sell the dog shit out of that
So
cigar.
John and I were in Vegas a couple weeks ago for the trade show, and we seen a slogan that wasn't cigar related, but it was probably the best brand. So Warfighter's new slogan is probably the best cigar brand.
Mediocre
Probably.
at best.
Probably.
No, it's just probably the best cigar brand.
Yeah, probably the best cigar.
Probably.
brand.
Fair enough.
Because we're not wrong.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
It's probably the
probably.
best.
Prove us wrong.
We were going to do a campaign, an ad campaign that was our cigar company can beat up your cigar company. And it's just us and whatever you guys want to throw at us.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know
Fuck
if it's
that,
going to
dude.
work or not, but it'd be
Fuck
fun.
that, dude. Contract me.
It'd be fun.
probably our
Contract me, dude. I got your back.
probably our cigar company would win in a gunfight.
I'd say probably.
I'd say
I would like
probably.
to say,
Right?
what do they use, Mikey, as your criminal justice major?
Send it.
More likely than not? No, what do they use to find a guilty plea on somebody?
I would say
It's more something than something. I can't remember the exact verbiage on it, but that's kind of us in a gunfight.
More likely than not,
Yes.
More likely
warfighter
than
would
not, it's
win in
pretty
a
good.
gunfight.
yeah. Like the probable cause is there.
Yeah, more likely than not, we'll win in a gunfight.
I
would
think I'm
say-
going to do that with my new store. I think I'm just going to be like, could be the best one you've ever been to.
It could be.
Yeah.
It fucking could be.
So, you know,
We're probably the best.
Right? Like,
well, so I would say I'm a
Probably the
little
best.
bit different than the average cigar smoker because the average cigar smoker goes to any cigar shop.
having known you, Forrest, you're pretty average.
But still, they go to a cigar shop. They go to a cigar shop and they go, "Hey, what's the best thing you got in your humidor?" And they'll get whatever that person will get whatever they think is best.
Fuck yeah,
and then
man.
they'll like
when I
that.
worked retail tobacco and people are going to be like, what's the best cigar you've got? And I'm like, have you heard of a Flor Dominicana? Because I'm a fanboy. I fucking love LFD.
But I mean, you know, what if someone they love that? But
In all
then
fairness, when I
eventually-
used to do that, you guys didn't exist.
but so let's say all of a
But
sudden
like
now
if
I'm
somebody asked me, I would be like, well, warfighter.
see. So what if I go to
fighter cigars than I do anything else?
what
so-
if I go to you, Jazz, and I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm a new smoker, and I go to you and I'm like, hey, what do you want?
GR special.
LFD. All right, cool. I love these. And all of a sudden, I meet this guy at a different cigar lounge. He's like, dude, fuck those things. You got to try this. And I try this. And it's like, fuck, this is way better. That other guy
Happens
didn't know
all
what the
the
fuck he
time.
was talking about.
That's actually why. That's actually
This
why
is-
I typically smoke without a band.
This is
I will pull the band off my cigar.
this is where I wish everybody would embrace this mindset. Scott,
I just pulled my band off.
Whatever
when you said
Scott
that.
says.
what's your favorite cigar?
That's
The one-
right here.
the one that I haven't
right
smoked
there.
yet.
That-
Yeah.
yeah. And honestly, that's true.
That's it. There's no other way to put it.
Which, you know what? Which is a large part of the reason I respect Warfighter Tobacco as a brand because of that mentality.
Mine was the reach around.
how can you say
right now?
Also the butt stuff.
right
yes,
now,
but-
I'm smoking a Rojas street taco.
Yeah, I just got done with one.
Right.
But how can you say that a Warfighter 762 Field Sumatra
How
is
is
the
it?
best
Give
cigar
us a
you ever
review.
had?
It's good. I appreciate it.
Well, and like when I first met you guys, I was so fucking pissed drunk at the hotel.
happens.
And I was like, hey, you
You
guys
are.
never had these cigars? And I'm handing
All
out
right.
fucking Black Label.
Well,
and then someone's like, yeah, that's Warfighter.
you know
I'm
what?
like, I feel like a dickhead.
That's-
and
Oh, then we
guys are
gave
like,
you a cigar.
well,
We-
and then you guys are like, no.
We actually
Like,
have a great
we
example
like having
right now
different
about
shit.
this debate. All right. So, Scott, you're smoking what?
Oh, a Rojas street taco.
And it's splitting.
It's splitting, but
You got a little bit of fucking wrapper move.
yeah.
But how's the smoke?
But it's good.
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah. You're enjoying it.
Yeah, this is probably because of the weather. Probably because he had it in a humidor in his truck. In who
It
knows
probably
what
got hot at
temperature.
some point.
Like
These are
just because
these are all solid. This is a review.
just because the wrapper's falling apart right now. Like I'm almost done with this, but just because the wrapper's falling apart doesn't mean it's a bad cigar.
Yeah.
It just means it's probably a storage
But that also
issue.
And a
that
lot of
comes
people-
with education.
And I
Right.
smoked
And a lot of people
I
don't
smoked
realize-
my favorite cigar a little while ago, and I lost the entire wrapper.
Yeah.
Well, and see, a lot of
That's
people
because you're a
don't. A lot of
dickhead
people.
when you ash it.
Probably.
A lot of people don't realize too, just like what he
I'm
said.
pretty novice,
a lot of
yes.
people don't realize that it's how you take care of your cigar too.
Yeah.
If you're like me, always traveling around, going to different altitudes, humidification, and all this stuff, it's going to change the cigar. So if it falls apart, you can't go off solely off of that.
No.
But
And I've-
you also-
this is probably the 6th one of these I've had, and it's not had this issue before.
yeah,
Look,
Yeah, like-
what it really comes down to is it doesn't matter the review or the critic of whatever the product is. Whatever
Go
works for
fucking-
you, that's what fucking works. And
try
now that we're an
everything.
hour deep into this fucking thing,
Yeah,
Mikey,
yeah. So much for a
sign
fucking
this shit
25-minute
off, right?
fucking thing.
That's
Jesus
because
Christ.
you're
I'm going
fucking
to raise
happy
my
hooker
glass.
around here.
You're
I'm
welcome.
going to raise my glass. I'm going to say thank you for being my freedom friends. Holy fucking long debate.
it's because you
Yeah.
have the happy hooker, and I'll make everything better.
So I think this might actually be our second debate that we actually had on the show.
An actual debate.
An actual debate.
And you
Hey,
had
people
someone.
come here for dick jokes. What the fuck are we doing being serious?
Mikey, what you getting in the pants there?
He's got a hole. 2 fingers, big hole.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, pal.
Hey, Mikey.
Hey.
How much room does fungus need to grow?
How much?
As mushroom as you can give it.
Yeah!
I fucking love it.
Oh, that's good. It's fucking certified fat-free, baby. Nice. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, smash those fucking buttons. Brought to you by warfightertobacco.com. Use that code FTOF.
Wow.
FTF.
FTFO.
No, you know
Holy
what?
fuck.
Go put that code in. It works.
Whatever it'll work.
FTFO.
John and I,
fuck.
It'll
John
get
and
you
I-
a sweet 15% off. And of course, our buddies at wellness.us give you a 25% off with Freedom Friends.
Actually,
25.
funny story about the discount code.
Yeah.
I had somebody email in yesterday
Yeah.
asking, hey, I tried the Freedom Friends code. It didn't work. My response is, where'd you get the code from, bud?
Because if you listen to the fucking show, you'd have the accurate code.
Yeah, you have the new code, you fucking chud. Fuck you.
Fucking Sally.
Thanks for coming on the show, buddy. Forrest, a pleasure.
Oh, easy.
Jesus
Pleasure to
fucking
see
Christ.
a long-time
Thank you, sir.
listener.
Just because you paid for the mic doesn't mean you get to break it.
Well, you know, maybe I might be
paid
invited
for it.
back on again.
He paid for it.
Maybe.
Whenever you're here.
Yeah.
Maybe I might be invited back on again.
Well, let's
Maybe.
not get
I said
carried
that's why I
away.
said it's a big maybe.
It's a maybe.
We're gonna have to wait for the reviews.
Well, I'm pretty sure this one might air.
Come on, critics, let's hear it.
We're gonna have
this
to wait
one-
for the reviews and the critics.
This one might actually air because I've heard you guys have had guests on where you're like, yeah, fuck that one.
It's only happened twice. It's only happened twice.
You were fairly quiet, so we'll probably air it.
Honestly,
And
it
I
was,
actually engaged in the conversation.
All right, so now
Yeah.
shut the fuck up so we can sign the show off.
All right, Mikey, who goes? Who goes?
Mikey does.
Mikey.
do I?
You
Sometimes.
did the codes.
I mean,
you
tell
know
your
what?
mom.
Okay,
You know what?
Jesus Christ,
Tell
there's
your
3
mom.
little things to live
Tell
by.
your fucking mom.
Tell your fucking friends.
Tell your fucking mom's
that
friends.
there's a fucking mediocre show that you need to
We're
fucking listen
mediocre
to.
as fuck. We've never promised
And
anything
boys,
else. God damn it.
Smoke on.
Drink on. And God damn it.
Freedom
the
the
fuck
fuck
on. Fuck out of here. We're
yeah.
drunk.
An angry sign off. I like it.